Every NFL fanbase stereotype explained in 20 minutes. Today, we're taking a playful but informative look at how each group of diehard supporters has earned its reputation. Whether it's supposedly smug, hopeful, or downright unhinged, these perceptions didn't just pop out of nowhere. Of course, we'll back up each stereotype with facts and context, so it's more than just trash talk. Let's kick off and see how it all stacks up. Number 20, Jacksonville Jaguars. Grateful. If you've been around since the Jaguars' inception in 1995, you've experienced some serious ups and downs. Jacksonville roared onto the scene, making the playoffs in only their second season and even reaching the AFC Championship game in 1996. Excitement soared, but consistency was elusive, and attendance issues plagued the franchise in the 2000s. Despite this, Jags fans stuck around, grateful for every glimmer of hope. That loyalty truly shone in 2017 when the Jaguars stunned everyone by securing a berth in the AFC Championship game again. Suddenly, TIAA Bank Field was rocking, and the entire city of Jacksonville was electric. Fans still carry that optimism, fueled by young talent and constant talk of building for the future. With rumors of relocation always swirling in the background, often London or elsewhere, Jaguar supporters embrace every season like it's a gift, because, in a way, it feels like it is. Before we move on to the next one in the list, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you're enjoying this content so far, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch these videos without subscribing. Imagine what we could accomplish if everyone subscribed. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. Thanks to all of you who do. Number 19, Los Angeles Chargers. Forgotten. Chargers fans know what it's like to be overshadowed. Whether in San Diego or Los Angeles, they've had to share the stage with bigger, more storied franchises. First with the Padres in MLB, now with the Rams in their new LA home. After the controversial relocation in 2017, many longtime fans in San Diego felt abandoned, while in LA, the Rams often steal the spotlight. Statistically, the Chargers have had outstanding talent over the years. From Dan Fuetz to Junior Seau to LaDainian Tomlinson, they've had Hall of Famers on the roster. In 2006, Tomlinson set the single-season touchdown record, a momentous feat. Yet national attention always seemed fleeting, especially compared to the hype other teams receive for far less. These days, Chargers fans persevere through jokes about empty seats and a half-filled stadium. But they're diehards who won't quit. If you catch them at SoFi Stadium, they'll happily remind you they've been there all along. Number 18, Seattle Seahawks. Loud. When people say the 12s, they're talking about some of the noisiest fans in professional sports. The Seahawks faithful at Lumen Field are partly responsible for multiple false starts by opposing offenses, helped along by the stadium's unique architecture that traps and redirects sound back onto the field. In fact, Seattle fans have twice set Guinness World Records for the loudest crowd roar at a sports stadium, reaching over 137 decibels in 2013. Of course, this volume is backed by pride in a franchise that won its first Super Bowl in the 2013 season with a dominant defense nicknamed the Legion of Boom. Even before that era, Seahawks fans stood by their team through heartbreak. Remember Super Bowl 40 against the Steelers? Now, they're known for chanting, cheering, and unleashing eardrum-busting support no matter who's suiting up. Well, being loud isn't just a stereotype here. It's an identity embedded in Seahawks culture. Number 17, Miami Dolphins. Delusional. Few teams stir more "this could be our year" optimism than the Miami Dolphins. Historically, they've got reason to boast. The 1972 Dolphins remain the only NFL squad to complete a perfect season and win the Super Bowl, a milestone that still triggers heated debates whenever another team flirts with going undefeated. Over the decades, the fan base has clung to that undefeated legacy like a life raft. But since the early 70s and the Marino-led fireworks of the 80s and 90s, success has been inconsistent. Despite this, you'll regularly hear Dolphins fans proclaim a Super Bowl is right around the corner, even during rebuilds. That unwavering belief, sometimes at odds with reality, fuels jests that they're delusional, particularly during off-seasons when every move is heralded as the key to turning it all around. Their love for the aqua and orange has staying power, and they'll never let go of that perfect season bragging right. Number 16, Minnesota Vikings. Hopeful. If there's there's one NFL fan base that lives on hope, it's the Minnesota Vikings faithful. Their fervor is legendary, showcased in the deafening Skol chant echoing through US Bank Stadium. Yet heartbreak has been a recurring theme. 4 Super Bowl losses, the missed field goal against the Falcons in the 1998 NFC Championship game, and the last-second heartbreakers that seemingly define Vikings lore. Still, optimism persists every season. This might stem from an impressive roster of iconic players: Fran Tarkenton, Randy Moss, Adrian Peterson, superstars who ignited dreams of a Lombardi trophy. Even the Minneapolis Miracle in the 2017 playoffs gave fans yet another reason to believe this year might finally end differently. While many jokes revolve around their supposed futility, fans remain resolute, cheering with unstoppable energy no matter the scoreboard. It's hope that binds Vikings fans together, promising that someday they'll finally get that elusive championship parade down the streets of Minneapolis. Number 15. Atlanta Falcons, Traumatized. 28-3. 2 numbers that instantly summon nightmares for Falcons fans. In the 2016 season's Super Bowl 51, Atlanta held a 28-3 lead over the Patriots, only to suffer one of the most shocking collapses in NFL history. That meltdown still stings, so much that fans and pundits alike can't help but reference it at every turn. But the trauma goes beyond that one game. Falcons followers also recall earlier heartbreak, like the 1998 season, when Atlanta reached Super Bowl 33 but fell to the Denver Broncos. They've endured teases of greatness from Michael Vick's dynamic years to Matt Ryan's MVP campaign, only to see it slip away. Yet, the team retains a loyal fan base in a city known for vibrant sports culture. They show up ready to cheer, forever hoping they'll finally shake off the ghosts. Unfortunately, every new meltdown resurrects that painful memory, proof that when it comes to heartbreak, Falcons fans have seen it all. Number 14. Pittsburgh Steelers, Traditional. Here we go, Steelers. The 6-time Super Bowl champions fans are widely regarded as one of the most traditional in the league. Rooted in the working-class ethos of Pittsburgh, the franchise is a staple of Steel City culture, with the terrible towel waving a proud symbol of unity. They've enjoyed stability with only 3 head coaches since 1969: Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, and Mike Tomlin, something practically unheard of in the NFL. This consistent leadership shaped a classic identity, a tough, hard-nosed brand of football built around defense and ground-and-pound offense. Generations of Steelers icons, from Mean Joe Green to Terry Bradshaw to Ben Roethlisberger, feed the lore. Fans wear this tradition like a badge of honor, championing the team's no-frills approach. Some joke they can be stuck in the past, but Steelers Nation sees it differently. It's not stuck, it's rooted, a difference they believe is reflected in their success and rabid nationwide following. Number 13. San Francisco 49ers, Cocky. 5 Super Bowl titles, historic dynasties, and a legacy that includes Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, and Steve Young. No wonder 49ers fans have a bit of swagger. They proudly flaunt a pedigree of excellence that extends back to the 80s, when head coach Bill Walsh revolutionized the league with the West Coast offense. Even in modern times, with stars like Patrick Willis, Frank Gore, and a renewed emphasis on defense, this franchise has rarely been far from the title conversation. Critics say Niners fans live off past glory, leaning too heavily on a heritage that includes multiple Lombardi trophies. The occasional arrogance might come out whenever a new quarterback shows promise, instantly drawing comparisons to Montana's legendary status. But beneath the swagger lies a deep passion for a team that's proven its mettle across eras. They've experienced heartbreak too, like the narrow loss in Super Bowl 47 against the Ravens. But that never quells their unwavering confidence that they belong among the NFL's elite. Number 12. Detroit Lions, Cursed. It's hard to argue any NFL franchise has battled as much adversity over such a prolonged span as the Detroit Lions. The team hasn't won a league championship since 1957, and the words playoff success feel almost mythical. From the heartbreaking retirement of Barry Sanders in his prime to the bleak years of the 2000s, including the infamous 0-16 season in 2008, Lions fans have endured. At times, they joke they're cursed, especially given the repeated false dawns. Every new season, a fresh wave of optimism rolls in, only to be met with crushing disappointment by year's end. Even with star players like Calvin Johnson, the narrative rarely changed. But if there's one bright spot, It's that Lions fans remain incredibly supportive, filling Ford Field in hopes that fortune will finally favor them. Some suspect the curse might just break if they ever secure a playoff run worth shouting about, which keeps them coming back for more. Number 11. Chicago Bears. Nostalgic. Mention the Chicago Bears, and many fans immediately recall the 1985 squad, arguably one of the best defenses ever assembled. That Super Bowl winning team, led by Walter Payton, Mike Singletary, and the fridge-sized William Perry, remains the gold standard. Even today, you'll find references to the iconic Super Bowl Shuffle, a rap single cut by that championship roster. Bears fans are steeped in tradition that goes back to George Halas and the early days of the NFL. No wonder they cling to the past, often reminiscing about legendary linebackers like Dick Butkus and Brian Urlacher. They talk about monsters of the Midway, as if that mystique alone can win games in the modern era. In a division with the Packers and Vikings, rivalries are intense, but so is Chicago's pride. Even in lean years, the city's unwavering support reveals itself every Sunday at Soldier Field. And of course, the conversation always loops back to 1985. Number 10. Cleveland Browns. Suffering. Few words are as synonymous with NFL misery as Cleveland Browns. The original franchise left for Baltimore in 1995, winning a Super Bowl as the Ravens, salt in the wound for Browns faithful. Even with the team's rebirth in 1999, agony seemed to persist. From the infamous Bottlegate to the 0-16 season in 2017, there's a never-ending highlight reel of heartbreaks. Yet, Browns fans fill First Energy Stadium and bark in the dog pound every fall. It's a testament to a fan base that's endured decades without a Super Bowl appearance. Terms like the drive, the fumble, and the decision, LeBron's departure in the NBA, but still painful for Cleveland sports, all add up to a collective civic heartbreak. Still, there's hope. Periodic flashes, like the playoff victory in the 2020 season, make suffering fans think the tide is finally turning. In Cleveland, perseverance is practically a family tradition, and it only grows stronger. Number 9. Buffalo Bills. Passionate Bills Mafia isn't just a catchy nickname, it's a reflection of the undying passion that surrounds the Buffalo Bills. Known for braving sub-zero temperatures while shirtless in the stands, and occasionally smashing through folding tables in the parking lot, the fan base exudes an unmatched level of excitement. This energy persists despite 4 consecutive Super Bowl losses in the early 1990s, a record that still stings. Legendary names like Jim Kelly, Thurman Thomas, and Bruce Smith still echo through Highmark Stadium. In recent years, the Bills have found renewed momentum under head coach Sean McDermott and quarterback Josh Allen, further fueling the hype. With each victory, Buffalo fans celebrate like they've won the whole thing, and with each defeat, their unwavering loyalty only intensifies. They've known heartbreak, like the Music City Miracle in 1999, but that doesn't dampen their spirit. Bills Mafia is in it for the long haul, come snow, wind, or heartbreak. Passionate is an understatement. Number 8. New York Giants. Delusional. Giants fans might argue the word delusional is unfair. They've got 4 Lombardi trophies to back them up. 2 of those came in stunning fashion, derailing the mighty Tom Brady-led Patriots in Super Bowls 42 and 46. Given those giant-killing feats, it's natural for fans to believe their team can slay any dragon at any moment. However, post-2012 has been a rocky road. After Eli Manning's decline and retirement, the team faced multiple rebuilds and coaching changes, causing confusion about its direction. Yet each offseason, there's a persistent buzz that the Giants' way will magically reappear. Even after a string of losing campaigns, fans project an air of optimism that might feel detached from reality. Whether they're referencing Bill Parcells' glory days or that unforgettable helmet catch by David Tyree, Giants supporters always point to past triumphs as a sign that another improbable run is lurking. That unwavering confidence often appears delusional, but hey, it worked before. Number 7. New York Jets. Miserable. Jets fans might say miserable is an understatement. Their lone Super Bowl victory was in 1969, when Joe Namath famously guaranteed a win in Super Bowl III. Since then, success has been sporadic, overshadowed by infamous moments like the butt fumble in 2012. The phrase "same old Jets" is a common refrain, embodying the eternal frustration of a fan base that hopes for a renaissance year after year. It's not that they've never had talent, the Jets have fielded remarkable players, Curtis Martin, Darrell Revis, and Joe Klecko, among others. They've made memorable playoff runs, such as in 2009 and 2010 with Mark Sanchez, only to fall short each time. Still, the frustration lingers with every coaching change, draft whiff, or front office shuffle. Yet, these fans are far from indifferent. They pack MetLife Stadium, chant Jets, 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 Jets with fierce pride, and cling to a flicker of hope that their misery might finally end. Number 6. Las Vegas Raiders. Unhinged. From the black hole in Oakland to the bright lights of Las Vegas, Raiders fans have maintained a wild edge like no other. The costumes, skulls, spikes, face paint aren't just for show. They're manifestations of a rebellious ethos dating back to owner Al Davis's just win baby attitude. Even after relocating to Las Vegas in 2020, that renegade spirit endures. Historically, the Raiders boast 3 Super Bowl titles, producing legends like Marcus Allen, Tim Brown, and Howie Long. But fans endured a lengthy playoff drought between 2002 and 2016, fueling a rowdy underdog vibe. Even in bad seasons, that intense fandom never wavers, leading many to describe them as unhinged or overly aggressive. Critics say they take it too far. Supporters argue it's all part of the mystique. Either way, from tailgates to the stands, there's a palpable energy that sets Raiders fans apart. You'll hear them and possibly see them in full fearsome regalia every single Sunday. Number 5. Kansas City Chiefs. Spoiled. Over the last few seasons, Chiefs fans have gotten used to a winning formula, thanks largely to Andy Reid's coaching genius and the emergence of Patrick Mahomes. With back-to-back Super Bowl appearances and a win in the 2019 season, it feels like Kansas City is always in the title hunt, an unfamiliar luxury for a franchise that once went 50 years without a Super Bowl victory. Arrowhead Stadium is known for its raucous atmosphere, at times rivaling Seattle for the loudest venue. But since Mahomes lit the league on fire, some claim the fan base has become spoiled, expecting deep playoff runs every year. For perspective, fans remember the painful playoff exits of the Marty Schottenheimer era, so maybe it's justified. Still, the narrative that Chiefs fans have it easy now rings true when compared to decades of heartbreak. They're reveling in this golden era, confident that the Lombardi trophies won't stop coming anytime soon. Number 4. Green Bay Packers. Loyal. If any NFL team can be called owned by the people, it's the Green Bay Packers, literally. They're the only publicly owned, non-profit major professional sports franchise in the United States. You'll find over 360,000 stockholders, each proud to hold a share of the Packers. This unique setup breeds a rare form of loyalty, as fans feel directly connected to the team's operations. Lambeau Field is revered as the frozen tundra, where supporters brave sub-zero temperatures to watch their beloved Packers. The fanbase's fierce devotion dates back to Vince Lombardi's legendary squads in the 1960s. Subsequent eras under Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers yielded more championships and perpetuated a winning culture. This loyalty persists even during adversity, like coaching changes or star player trades. Tailgating in the bitter Wisconsin cold is practically a sacred rite. To outsiders, it might seem excessive, but in Green Bay, loyalty is tradition, and it's as strong as the winter wind. Number 3. New England Patriots. Smug. 6 Super Bowl titles in the span of 18 years. The Tom Brady-Bill Belichick dynasty and an ever-present aura of the Patriot way have catapulted New England fans to a realm of success few can relate to. Critics argue that this era has produced a certain smugness. From repeated appearances on primetime TV to the notion that any season without a Lombardi is a disappointment, the bar is set sky high. Controversies like Spygate and Deflategate only intensified the ire of other fan bases, who felt the Patriots thrived on the borderline of fair play. Pats fans counter with Scoreboard, pointing to rings and consistent division titles. Even post-Brady, fans maintain high standards, expecting Belichick to deliver results. They'll remind you of all the AFC East banners hanging at Gillette Stadium, rarely missing a chance to tout their achievements. If confidence crosses over into arrogance, many in New England simply shrug. Winning's a great equalizer. Number 2. Philadelphia Eagles. Aggressive. Philly fans have a reputation for intensity, which can manifest in unforgettable moments, like the time they famously booed Santa Claus at an Eagles game in 1968. From Veterans Stadium to Lincoln Financial Field, the stands have seen occasional scuffles, rowdy chants, and a passionate desire to see their team triumph. Eagles history features legendary names like Chuck Bednarik and Reggie White, and while the franchise had some lean years, the city's fandom never diminished. That pent-up longing was unleashed in 2017 when the Eagles finally secured their first Super Bowl victory. Celebrations were unbridled, some might say borderline chaotic. The aggressiveness might be fueled by a blue-collar identity that expects maximum effort from its players and coaches. Opposing fans entering the Link have to watch their step. Philly supporters protect their turf vehemently. Love it or hate it, there's no denying Eagles fans keep the volume, and often the tension, dialed to 11. Number 1. Dallas Cowboys. Entitled, once dubbed America's team in the late 70s, the Dallas Cowboys boast 5 Super Bowl titles and a decade-spanning brand recognized worldwide. Jerry Jones's high-profile ownership and the team's iconic star logo feed the perception that Cowboys fans expect greatness as a birthright, even though their last Super Bowl victory came in the 1995 season. Despite periods of mediocrity, the Cowboys consistently top the charts in franchise value and draw huge viewership numbers. Their supporters frequently proclaim, "This is our year," pointing to a storied past featuring Roger Staubach, Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, and Michael Irvin. But that persistent optimism, despite prolonged championship droughts, comes off as entitlement. Critics say they live off old glories and the hype machine. Fans argue that the huge national following validates their status, and a new generation of stars could restore the Lombardi tradition any season now. Love them or hate them, the Cowboys remain the NFL's most polarizing fan base. That's our rundown of every NFL fan base stereotype. You might agree with some, you might agree with none. That being said, every team's community has its own history, character, and quirks, both the good and the bad. If you enjoyed this look into the colorful world of NFL fandoms, go ahead and hit that thumbs up. Got another team stereotype we missed? Drop it in the comments. And if you want more high-energy breakdowns like this, don't forget to subscribe and join our growing football family. Hope you found this video helpful, entertaining, and maybe a little enlightening. Until next time, thanks for watching.